order to sustain the environment, it must be properly planned, designed and conducive for people to live and work with a proper landscaping that does not pose a threat to the lives of the people. It is with this purpose that the Ogun State government created the Slum Regeneration Authority to midwife symbiotic relationship between physical planning and environmental sustainability, where man is seen as the beneficiaries of all developmental activities, and to ensure for him an environment which is livable, healthy, friendly, efficient and economically viable to achieve collective and inclusive prosperity. In view of this, the Ogun State Slum Regeneration Authority organized a day stakeholders meeting on the 100 kilometers Itoku-Ikija regeneration scheme to discuss and chart a way forward for the achievement and success of the project. Itoku and Ikija are core inner areas in the city of Abeokuta, and these areas harbor world-class Olumo Rock Tourist Center and other monumental tourist attractions. Speaking at the stakeholders meeting held at Olumo Hall, Ikija, the Commissioner for Physical Planning and Urban Development in Ogun State, Town Planner Tunji Odunlami, notified the gathering on the importance of the meeting, which he referred to as epoch-making.
We are here to jointly chart a course for our common good. We on this side are here to represent the Ogun State government in furtherance of the building our future together agenda of the Prince Abiodun-led administration. Central to the building our future together agenda of this administration are infrastructural rejuvenation and economic re-engineering of our state, Ogun State. To this end, a total stretch of 100 meters on both sides along the Itoku-Ikija corridor of Abeokuta, among other locations in Ogun State, has been earmarked as part of the slum regeneration schemes being undertaken by the Ogun State government. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the main purpose of our gathering here today is for the Ogun State Slum Regeneration Authority, the agency of the Ogun State government, to unfold the regeneration plans that have been designed for the Itoku-Ikija corridor. In addition, since we consider the engineers being represented here today by you as critical stakeholders towards the successful execution of the regeneration plans, we also consider your buy-in as very vital. Without doubt, the regeneration being proposed for this axis will not only add to the aesthetic appeal of the area, but also will help to revitalize the socio-economic landscape through increased trade and commercial activities, as well as complementing the tourism appeal of the Olumo Rock Forest Complex in the area.
Town Planner Odunlami gave more insight into the vision of the state government on slum regeneration as it concerns Itoku and Ikija axis.
Ogun State, is characterized by a lot of our big old towns. You can mention all of them. There are so many in Ogun State here, like many other southwestern states. But you see, these towns are almost dying. If you go there, they look sleepy, and they are characterized by all these old areas that are crying for attention. And that is why that agency was set up. And it was actually one of the mandates that the governor gave me. I can use that position, to be here to come and see that. Look, all these are towns that are looking dead and dirty. Go and look at what you can do about them to make them, more attractive. People will feel that they belong, to the modern generation in terms of facilities and amenities in them. So that agency was created. So the agency will go out and look at specific areas and use certain parameters to qualify them to see whether they are due for slum regeneration. So one of the areas that agency identified was that Itoku in the Ikija area. But it's not, you would ask, why that place?
The peculiarity of the
Why not? The peculiarity of the place is because we have identified it as a tourism area. Now, for three or four or five different landmarks, you have the Adire Mall which is now international focus. You know, you want to buy Adore, want to do anything, go to Adore Mall, and that is the approach to that place.
The entrance.
Entrance. Now there is this modern road that has just been built. You know, you can imagine that kind of a road, that place. That road is like worthless with the kind of, you know, the environment where it is. So you need to leverage on that road and really make it an economic, catalyst for that area. So after looking at the Adore Mall, next we just looked at Shodeke's senator, Shodeke, with the history of the Egbas of Shodeke. Now look to your left, you know, as you go on that road, you see the Kobiti Central Mosque. It has history behind it. And then you look on the right, you see Olumorok. And then you move further down, you see that Holy Trinity with those three, you know, those are iconic things. And people come to Adore Mall, Olumorok, every day. But you know what? You just drive there, spend 2 hours, and they leave. There is really nothing to keep them there to even stay overnight. And that's the kind of thing you find over the world. They do small things and they blow it out and they make you stay overnight. And so we think that since those things are there, we should leverage on those things and the new road that is being done, and then begin to make a difference in the life of that area.
Odulami also explained some benefits of the proposed development.
We expect, boutique hotels, hotels that are not too big, not too flamboyant. Maybe we call them 2-star hotels that people can stay, maybe in, or bread and breakfast, or something. You can buy out and go and cook inside the place, And then you wake up in the morning, you look out and you look at Olumorok. I'm going to climb it today. You want to go to Adore Mall. I want to go around there. You have eateries. You have Ofada Pavilion. People go there, it's Ofada, real Ofada, pavilion. A lot of, things like Kokoro, Egba, things, a lot of spaces where you can do those things. Okay. And then you have petrol filling stations. You have, what do they call this thing where people sit down and have nice time.
Like a park.
A park, this thing where people go in the evening now and they have a nice time. What do they call?
Cinema.
No, not cinema. No, you can have cinema. They can have, where people go in now and watch TV and then they have fun. They drink. They have a name they call it. You can have a lot of those things there. And they drink pepper soup and nightlife. And people will come there. Okay, they won't go back. They won't go that same day. They will plan their holiday. And they can spend 2 3 days and use that particular place to go around the entire place. So you can go out of Abeokuta and then come back there. You know what's going to happen? They are going to drop money for that, and it's going to bring revenue both to that area, to the state, to the local government, and to people who are entrepreneurs.
Town planner Odulami assured the stakeholders of the prompt completion and construction of necessary infrastructural needs in the area.
Let me assure all stakeholders that the administration of Prince Akwabedu is committed even more to the distribution of infrastructure projects across the length and breadth of Ogun State. More importantly, the regeneration plans for the Quick axis will be a mirage without a complementary road network in the area. It is for this reason that a recommendation for the completion of the ongoing construction of the road through the corridor is part and parcel of the regeneration plans for the area. Let me state locally that the regeneration plans do not entail taking the lands of the people in this area. Rather, the regeneration plans will only guide the beginnings who may wish to develop their family properties, as well as private developers intending to put up buildings in the area.
It therefore solicited for cooperation of all stakeholders for the success of the project.
It is pertinent to remind us that we all need to come together as critical stakeholders in these regeneration plans to boost the socio-economic development of the area and to sustain the landmark achievements in the areas of infrastructure development and economic revitalization by the state government in the last 3.5 years. only when we do this that we will take our dear state to desirous heights.
The acting general manager, Ogun State Slum Regeneration Authority, Town Planner Abiola Ayodele, also lent a voice on the proposed plan for the regeneration of the axis and the regeneration plans of the Prince Dapo Abiodun's administration to them.
Small London, ìlú ìlú nǹkan tá a wá ṣe nìyẹn ká lè tọ́jú lòrò kó jẹ́ pé ká kọ́ sọ pé agbe wá tẹ wá ní ẹgbà náà wá kò kí ń ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ àwa máa ń plan pẹ̀lú àwọn aráàlú ni a kì í plan fún aráàlú we plan with them for us to have the success and the implementation of that plan.
Giant Stress Crew spoke with some stakeholders on their view of the project and its benefits to the people.
Sincerely, this is a wonderful ideology and idea, and I believe it's going to be of great importance and a mutual beneficial delivery and relationship between the government and the owner of the land. And there is no doubt this is going to bring about socio-economic development of this area. You know, the state government is putting this idea on the ground, in which I know in the long run, even in the short and the long run, it's going to be of benefit to the owner of the land. They are not coming here to take their land. They are only bringing creative ideas, you know, that will give them a good return on investment within a short and long period of time. So it's a welcome idea. This is an idea that let's give it to this government, because it's very, very rare before you can see a government that is proactive and think for its people. You understand? So this government is thinking ahead for the people to let them know what they are supposed to do, you know, and that will give them a good economic and capital advantage and influence.
Honestly, it's a good project which will enhance the viability of commerciality of the area. And talk of modernization, it will promote the beautification of the area. It's a good program which I believe Kavesi himself will like and welcome. I will enjoy my people to cooperate with the government and with the program so that they will all benefit from it.
It's a laudable program and it to the benefit of the individual of this area and to be a very big program and to transform this place to a very nice place. And the people of this place commercially, they are not well to do, but with coming of this transformation of this place, everything will become normal, business will come here, people will thrive, and this place will be very well developed. And this is only more too. Many people are living in Abeokuta and they are not even coming to this place, probably because of the road, and some people see this place as a local area. And with that transformation, it will bring more people down to this.
The project, apart from adding greatly to the aesthetic look of the area, would also boost the economic status of the area, which would invariably lead to the growth and development of the area and the state in general. In recent times, Nigeria has witnessed a significant increase in building collapse that has resulted in loss of lives and livelihoods, as well as the displacement of families. Due to these frequent occurrences, the Ogun State government, through the Ministry of Fiscal Planning and Urban Development, set up a committee on Ogun State Building and Construction Code 2022 to find a lasting solution to the menace. The committee has representatives from the built industry professional bodies. The stakeholders meeting of the draft of Ogun State Building Construction Code 2022 was held at the conference room of the Ministry, Governor's Office, Okemoson, Abeokuta. In his address, the Commissioner for Fiscal Planning and Urban Development, Town Planner Tunji Odunlami, explained that even though There has been National Building Code since 2005. The Ogun State government, under the present administration, deemed it fit to fashion out its own state building code derived from the National Building Code as a complement to the existing legislations.
Although a few states have laws regulating building and construction activities, they are largely obsolete and no longer adequate to achieve the objectives of the National Building Code. Ogun State is, however, a clear and proud exception in this regard. Arising from the restructuring of town planning and building production activities in the state, pioneered by the administration of Prince MFR, and resulting in the creation of 3 new agencies along with the main ministry, the provisions of the National Building Code have largely been incorporated into the regime of the principal law, which is the Ogun State Urban and Regional Planning and Development Law 2022 and its 5 regulations. With 2 of them, the Ogun State Planning and Development Permit Regulation 2022 and the Ogun State Building Production Management Regulation 2022, dealing specifically with building design, construction, and maintenance. Again, the first in Nigeria. Despite these very robust legislations, however, there remains some finer and more specific details guiding these aspects of building or structure requiring codification. This thus makes it necessary for Ogun State to fashion out its own state building code derived from the National Building Code as a complement to the existing legislations.
He reminded the citizens of Ogun State of the amnesty pronounced on the World Habitat Day by the Governor of Ogun State, Prince Dapo Abiodun, for those who have developed their buildings without permits, waiving the payment of penal fees across board on such illegal documents, saying it will only last for 1 month, after which penal fees will be introduced again.
I want to seize this opportunity to remind the citizens of Ogun State of the magnanimity of His Excellency Prince Dapo MFR, which he demonstrated on the 4th of October 2022 during the celebration of the 2022 World Habitat Day, where he pronounced amnesty for those who have developed their buildings without planning permits by waiving the payment of penal fees across board on such illegal developments. This amnesty is for a period of 1 month, during which all those who are built without planning permits are encouraged to approach any of our 22 zonal planning offices and the headquarters at Okemosi to submit their applications with all required documents in order to obtain their planning permits. This also extends to those who have been issued bills to pay penal fees but are yet to pay.
Some of the stakeholders spoke with giant strides.
The code is all about building and construction codes in the state, and this code, if actually come out to be put to use in the state, will go a long way elevating this issue of building collapse and then controlling the practice of the profession to a very acceptable standard.
We have all witnessed collapse here and there in the recent past, not peculiar to our state, but throughout the country in Nigeria. And you see that when something like that happens, we have to find a way to at least put a stop to it. Thank God when the National Building Code was drafted and it assisted in reducing, if not eliminating, the issue of collapse So each state is also supposed to look inward, at least, to ensure that they have a law in place that will guide and guide them in the construction industry within the state, to ensure that we have a built environment that is devoid of collapse and so on and so forth.
In another development, effort has been put in top gear to reduce to the barest minimum the menace of illicit drug abuse and trafficking. Little wonder that the Ogun State Drug Control Committee was inaugurated with the wife of Ogun State Governor, Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun, as the chairperson. The committee members were nominated by their respective organizations, knowing they possess the required passion, education, and capacities to support and work assiduously with the chairperson of SDCC to ensure she actualizes the enormous mandate vested on her and to rightfully position the gateway state among the committee of states that have zero tolerance for organized crime and illicit drug trafficking. Members of the committee were drawn from both state and federal agencies. Speaking at the event, the wife of Ogun State Governor, who also is the War Against Drug Abuse Ambassador, Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun, said the need to establish the State Drug Control Committee is very essential as a result of the alarming rate at which drug abuse is prevalent in the country today.
The need to establish the State Drug Control Committee is very critical because we are currently witnessing an alarming prevalence in the use of dangerous narcotics and psychotropic substances by many people, both young and old. See from the statistics that the commandant gave us that people from the age of 15 to 64 are the ones that use drugs most in this country, and we must act quickly to curb this trend before it's too late. Consequently, this meeting is the first step to actualizing many of the solutions proposed in the National Drug Control Master Plan, the NDC-NP 2021 to 2025, which will be rolled out strategically very soon. The plan contains 4 strategic pillars that culminate in an integrated multi-sectoral strategic and operational plan to comprehensively address drug issues in this country.
Mrs. Abiodun encouraged the committee to take up the task with utmost importance as they will be required to work with master plan that covers strategic plans that tackle drug issues in the country.
You have all been nominated to be on this committee, not just to make up the numbers, but because of the strategic positioning of the MDA you represent. Each one of you has a vantage position, so your recommendations will be invaluable to us. Through this committee, we are strengthening the prevention and treatment of substance abuse, including narcotic drug abuse and harmful use of alcohol, in line with the Sustainable Development Goal 3. Ultimately, we hope to improve the health and security for everyone in the state, and we believe that by working together, they will be attainable by the grace of God.
The NDLEA State Commandant, Mrs. Ibinabo Achi Abia, while enumerating the functions of the newly inaugurated committee, stated that survey has found out that a total of almost 3 million persons were suffering from some forms of drug use disorder.
First is to develop and domesticate political social advocacy, designed to get every Ogun State person involved in the task of ridding the state of drug abuse and trafficking of illicit substances. To launch a targeted war against drug abuse and illicit trafficking by establishing local government drug control committees down to the wards, the committee shall identify and induct persons of representing name and character as warrior ambassador and adopt them as eminent personalities in the State Drug Control Committee of Ogun State.
Just Rice caught up with some members of the committee.
The primary purpose and duty of government is for the welfare and security of the people. And that is why this program we have come to do is, drug control, prevention. Is like addressing the issue from the source. So this is an issue that we have to embrace, all of us. By embracing this thing and trying to address the issue from the source is lessening our own problem as a security and safety agency. So what my agency will bring to the table is we have discovered there is no enforcement. And when there is no enforcement, it will serve no deterrent. So by the time we bring enforcement into the matter, we prosecute and apportion respective punishment by the law. You discover that this trend of drug abuse and crime will become minimal.
We have been told what our duties are. We have also been informed how we should go about it. But as an individual, I want to say that I will be committed to every assignment that is given. And like I said, as a youth ambassador, I will ensure that every youth around me is sensitized by letting them know the disadvantages that are inherent in the usage of drugs.
With the establishment of Ogun State Drug Control Committee, it is obvious that the trafficking of illicit drugs in the state will be reduced and drug addiction will be brought to the barest minimum, if not eradicated. Ìgbéga ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn, àjọṣe gbogbo wa ni.